we're going to end up going there anyway. So I guess it's probably a good time to bring up the photo because this is the time period where it happened. I don't think I had been at the barracks for 5 weeks when we heard that people from the ad agency that we used were coming to do like auditions. And I knew what was going on. I knew where it was. I knew the timing, and I knew that I had work to do, and I wasn't planning on going.
Yeah.
So the day rolls around, and public affairs officer comes up, and she's like, "Logan, are you going to the audition?" I'm like, "No, like I got work to do." She goes, "Wrong answer. You're going." And I'm like, "Fine." So I grabbed one of the other platoon commanders. I was like, "Tim, let's go. Like, let's just go do this thing." And we went down and like wrote our name, rank, and I think personal awards, height on a little dry erase board. And they just took a frontal picture and a profile picture and profile picture. And basically that day they were like, "Hey, we'll reach out if you've been selected to do any of these."
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. It sounds because like I had no idea like what the process looked like for you guys to like get selected. Like I didn't know if you guys were just at a bar and some like sketchy models like, yeah, you look cute, and hand you a business card or something like that. But
no, so I'm gonna blank on the name of the ad agency, but the Marine Corps has been using the same company for a very long time. Like they're the ones that did the Fire Monster commercials, and it's just worked, right? So I think it's every like 4 to 5 years they set up a big rotational shoot where they always come to 8th and I for like the blues photos.
Yeah,
but they do Camp Lejeune, they do 3 meth, they do 1 meth, and they just kind of go around and get the shots they're looking for. The next group. They'll do smaller projects in between, but like that big project happens every 4 to 5 years. And they know what they're looking for, because I didn't really pick up on it at the time, but looking back on it, it's super obvious. As soon as I walked into the place where we were taking those initial audition photos, all of the people that work at the ad agency just like scanned to me at the same time, and just like like looking back on it, I felt kind of weird in the moment, but now I think I recognize that they're just like, that could work. But I didn't expect anything to come from that at all.
No,
and probably 2.5 months, I hadn't heard anything. And then one day I got an email about where I needed to be, what uniform I needed to be in, and don't have any plans for the day because like your job for the day is taking photos. But I hadn't been through our ceremonial drill school. I didn't know what I needed to know to be a marcher at the barracks yet. So I'm getting all these like hip pocket classes on how to hold the sword, how to fix my cover, all kind of random stuff. Right before it happened. And then we ended up, I think I had more pictures taken of me that day than I had in the rest of my life combined. And that photo, the famous photo, like we didn't take that picture. That's photoshopped. It's me, and then like we all took those different angles, and they just picked the 5 Marines to be in that photo.
So technically, that's not even like you then, like technically speaking, or that's all ready together.
I haven't put any time into figuring out how Photoshop works, but it's definitely my face, and like it's just cut out, and then they put it together and then put the fighting spirit of an entire nation below it, and so that's kind of how it came together. But again, probably 4 or 5 months before I heard anything after that, and I'm like, well, they're not using anything that I did. And then my buddy was down at Marine Corps Recruiting Command, and the first photo was me by myself on the front of the Marine Corps Opportunities book, which is basically what describes all of the officer programs. And that goes out to all the OSOs and recruiters. And so it was like one of the recruiting publications was the first thing. And then probably a month and a half later, when I saw the first version of the photo, and then that thing just started to blow up and go everywhere.
So you didn't even know that like they had, I guess, selected you or decided to like use you as like the, you know, the face of the Marine Corps until it just basically was there.
Nope. Not until some people that were working down at Marine Corps Recruiting Command, sent me a photo and then started showing up on the Enterprise Service Desk newsletter and in the billboards. And then 8th and I decided to wrap their buses with that photo. So for years, there's been like 5 or 6 buses that I was getting on and off to do these events that had a 10-foot version of my face on the side of them.
Do you ever get like pulled over from a cop and like they ask for ID, just point?
No, but I have gone through gates sometimes where I left my cat card and I showed the gate guard. I'm like, that's me. Can I go on base? That's not the only celebrity treatment that has manifested from this whole thing. But
yeah, I was gonna ask, like, have you gotten any like just people recognizing you or like people like trying to put 2 and 2 together? Like, you look familiar, or how's that been?
So the funniest thing about this is when I would be like at the Lincoln Monument doing parades, but I wasn't marching that particular week, I would be in the exact same uniform as that photo, and I would stand right beside the bus, and tens of thousands of people walk by, and not once did anyone go, "What? Whoa, that's crazy." After that, in the years since, there's been friends of mine that like didn't know about it and then found it. So I usually get a couple emails a week, people thinking that they're the first ones to ever see it. But they've been using that damn photo for like almost 9 years now.
Yeah.
So it's not the celebrity status that you might expect it would be. And for me, the questions, once people do realize that they ask a ton of great questions, at the end of the day, it's just like, it's a really cool thing. I'm glad that it worked out, but like, I didn't get it because I'd done something exceptional as a Marine. I got it for 3 reasons: right time, right place, and right jawline. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Genetics helped out on that one.
But low key though, I mean, do you ever think that like, when your Marine Corps career is all said and done, you think about what, your kids, nephews and nieces may remember you for? I mean, like, it's pretty cool to think that, you were the face of the Marine Corps at one point. Like, do you ever, even though you have to work for it technically?
It's super cool. And, humbled, honored, all of those things come to mind to represent an organization that means so much to me and so many of us in that way. But I've always been very deliberate to not like let it go to my head at all, because I guess it probably could if I was a different human or wired a different way. But again, I know how it happened. It was a fluke. So it's really cool to represent the organization that way. But it's also like, I can't really make any mistakes because it would go pretty poorly if the guy on the billboard, and apparently there's some curse that people that end up on the billboard get in trouble somewhere along the way.
Really?
That's what I hear. I haven't done the research, but people talk about that quite a bit, and they have specific stories of like, hey, this friend of mine was there and then got a DUI or something like that. So maybe me staying out of trouble is the reason that it's has lived as long as it has. But I don't know.
There's a Madden curse for being like the cover story of the Marine Corps. That's nuts.
That's probably the best way to say it. Again, I haven't done the research. I should probably stop telling that story until I do, but I don't know when it's going to hit the top of my priority list. So
I think I do want to do the research because I'm very curious to see if this lives up to it, but it's nuts. So did you get to, because I noticed like in at least a couple of the photos, there's like 5 or 6 other, Marines that are surrounded by you. Did you like meet any of them or like know any of them? Were there?
So all of those Marines were assigned to 8th and I in 2015. So like we all took the pictures the same day. It's just we never took that conglomeration shot.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, yeah. No,
but I've also seen versions of that photo where 4 people stay the same and they swap me out with somebody.
Okay. What all, because you said they took like so like countless amounts of photos, but like what were all was it just like the same pose you did? They just took it like hundreds of times, or what did they all like? What did you have to
We
propose?
were all over the barracks taking different like actual marching photo, like some video, some photos, and then our main like music hall that's on the top side of the installation was set up to be a photo shoot. So we probably took, I don't know, 300 or 400 photos, just different angles, different setup, different stances, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And now I doubt this would probably be a thing, but like ever since then, like has it been, since you took the photos, that was it? Like you don't get, I imagine you don't get like royalties or like notified of anything about it. It's just like the Marine Corps owns that and you've just been on your way since.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I have not seen a dime from it, and it's okay.
Oh, okay.